There are two things that are going to decide the direction of crypto, especially Bitcoin, but also the rest of the altcoins today. And we are going to discuss what they are, or who they are, or how they are, and how they are potentially going to influence crypto. We're going to discuss if we are still in the bull run, look at some important metrics, and we are also coming out with a little bit of crypto news, because there are some things going on that I think that are worth discussing, and then we are going to look into Ekomi and VeVe as always. But before that, I hope you have your coffee locked and loaded, ready to go. For sure, it's necessary for me. What happened to my hairline, by the way? Anyways, all of these topics in the timestamps in the video description and after this intro. So, good morning, every one of you. How are you feeling today? How is Ecomi looking today? How is Bitcoin looking today? We will see in a short second. But before we start, please keep in mind that I'm a crypto and NFT investor, not your financial advisor. You know that. So do your own research before you ape full degen into crypto or the NFTs. And make sure to smash the like button right now. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and let me know in the comments below later or in the chat right now what you think is going to happen today, because there are two big things happening today. I want to quickly use the moment also to thank my rare hodlers here that are behind me on that screen, for always supporting me here on the channel, on this journey, on this live stream. And yeah, if you want to become a rare hodler, you only have to become a channel member on the YouTube channel. But you don't have to. If you just smash the like button, that's enough for me. So let's jump right into what is happening and what's going to happen today. So basically two things. The first one is that Nvidia reports their earnings as the representative of the health of the tech sector. And the second one is that Powell is going to speak in Jackson Hole. Good morning, Felipe. Hope you are well and fine. Good morning to you. Yes, coffee is really necessary today, as I went to sleep late and I'm already awake again. So yeah, anyways, with the Nvidia, we are going to wait a little bit. Let's talk first about what's going to happen, or what could be happening there from Jacksonville. Cat Lego, the dude, says, GM, you should cover at least one Ordinals project weekly so we can learn together. Not too bad. That idea could be in the NFT part, right in the end. Not too bad. At least one per week. Okay, I will look into some. Thanks for the feedback. I will look into Ordinals project a little bit so we can at least look at it. And if we find something good, maybe we can even buy it. Okay, but let's look at this now. Behind the advance in yields are expectations among investors that the Fed will keep interest rates at a generational high for longer than once thought. So that's one point. A commitment to bringing inflation down to 2% and few signs of a slowing US economy give little incentive to the central bank to loosen financial conditions. So definitely we're not going to see a pivot. And future markets are pricing in a 50-50 chance of another interest rate hike by November. So really, we are not looking so good for a rate hike pause already. But the hope is there that he will announce it there in Jacksonville nonetheless. So the latest leg higher for yields came on Monday when the tech-heavy Nasdaq snapped a 4-day losing streak. We have been covering this on the channel with the chart. Typically, bond yields and tech stocks do not rise in tandem because higher yields tend to dampen demand for equities that have valuations pinned on growth years into the future. Good. Now, the sharp bond market moves puts Fed Chair Jerome Powell's speech on Friday at Jackson Hole in focus. So that one is in 2 days, that speech, while the earnings of Nvidia are today. The Fed chief is likely to caution that the central bank will keep rates restrictive for some time and may take them higher if needed. So probably, and this will be then, I don't know, this will be probably priced in already if he just does that. If he for sure announces something like several rate hikes or so, then, or says something super bearish, then this could lead to more price dumps in Bitcoin, right? So between Nvidia and Jackson Hole, they're basically discussing here what is more important, but we can do that on our own. So if we are looking here at the earnings whispers, we saw that on Monday we already had Zoom, and now we have Nvidia here today. And basically what people are saying is that Nvidia needs to at least, in the very least, beat their positive expectations, or meet the positive expectations at the very least, and to make prices really go up in the tech sector, beat the expectation, which we don't know how it will come out, but it says here that Nvidia has a very positive outlook. If we just go back, we see here we expect a bullish outlook from Nvidia that should be the fuel in the engine to continue this tech rally into the rest of the year, despite the tough talking Fed, said Dan Ives, an analyst broker at Wedbush, exemplifying the mood among tech bulls. We are going to look at this a little bit later, but Nvidia here absolutely measuring the water temperature today for the market. So this is one of two things that will decide whether we are clinging on to the support that we have right now for Bitcoin, or if we fall through. And we besides all technical indicators, we obviously want to have that happen, that we are positive there. Another one is another news that I think shouldn't go unnoticed, and this is Coinbase takes stake in stablecoin firm Circle, shuts down joint venture, and it sees regulatory clarity. Okay. Although under pressure from the SEC, this seems to be a move that is very bullish, right? So they are acting as if there is no problem at all with the SEC. Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase is taking stake in Circle, and Circle is the one that is issuing the USDC stablecoin. The two companies also said they will close down the Center Consortium, a private governance organization for USDC, and Circle set up a consortium in 2018 to help guide policy thinking around stablecoins. So it seems that this is no longer necessary. So reflecting Coinbase's belief in the fundamental importance of stablecoins to the broader crypto economy, Coinbase is taking an equity stake in Circle. And we have seen that conviction here also from PayPal, right? So PayPal also brought out their own stablecoin to interact with the different crypto platforms. And all of these movements are a clear commitment to the continuous growth and belief in the growth of the crypto space in general. So not only by Coinbase, but also by PayPal, also by other companies. And very importantly, it also means, at least in my opinion, that they are not believing in what some people are saying, that CBDCs or in the rollout of CBDCs, you would basically have a shutdown of all stablecoins in the US, right? So this means that Coinbase and Circle will now have even greater strategic and economic alignment on the future of the financial system. Coinbase is committed to the long-term success of the stablecoin ecosystem and USDC specifically. So yeah, we see that Coinbase is positioning themselves in the market, basically as a big established and hopefully regulated financial giant, right? We have been witness, and this is very important to note. Many people we always have to repeat some certain things so that we still know where we are. We witnessed the emergence of a new asset class, which happens of this magnitude in every now and then in 1,000 years or so, right? A couple of 1,000 years, you have one specific asset class, and then everything changes, right? So that we have to see. We are witnessing the emergence of crypto firms 13 years roundabout after Bitcoin has emerged. So also very historic and very new. So many things can happen, and that's where this big volatility is coming from. And I really like the adventure to be alive in this time. According to Stock Money Lizards, we are at a local bottom right now. EMA 200 support, local bottom. This displays the local bottom line at 25,667. We will see in a little bit if we are still there or if we are losing that level. But according to this, we have a baseline here. R asks, how much more OMI did you buy? 1 million. 1 million OMI. So I had 2 million, now I have 3 million. I think the price point is still pretty good, or was still pretty good based on my criteria. To get in, it brought down my average quite a bit. And if we should tank once again, or if something else happens, then I will look out for the next thing where it is worth buying, and otherwise I'm good with 3 million. But yeah, that is that. We are going to discuss this a little bit later, but yeah, that's my purchase. So once again, what always happens in this phase apparently is here at the time markers. You see this here. You have 2016, 2022, two early stage bull runs, right? And then 2023. So what always happens is you have a steep bear market or you have a bear market complacency phase, bear market 1, and then a steep correction in the bear market, which is bear 2. We have also seen this in the last in 2 cycles ago, and now in this cycle we have seen it again, that we have this complacency phase, that we have this second top, so to say. This one was driven by inflation, and then a steep decline until we find our bottom. Now, important to note, then from that bottom you have an early stage bull run and a parabolic bull run, and this early stage bull run is usually we are somewhere near where it should end, and we also see that we have some pullbacks based or onto this trend line, which we're witnessing right now. So from there we could bounce if the news allow it, in my opinion. So yeah, you tell me if you think that's realistic or not, but according to this trader, we are going very soon into the so this is probably, this is a monthly chart. So according to this, we would have another 1-2 months until we are starting to ramp up into that parabolic phase, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 8th month here in this prediction, right? So you have 7 here, and then the number 8, that's exactly the halving. So yeah, we will see if this really happens like that. That's the halving. Now, one more, summer mode is over. we see here this falling, broadening, this falling megaphone, or if you want to call it like this. So in the three cycles that we have seen, we have a test to the downside, a breakout to the upside. We have it here again, tests to the downside, breakout to the upside, and now we are here again, test and test to the downside, breakout to the upside. And all of these tests to the downside, even the one in the C crisis that fell a little bit out of, or wicked out of it, did not take out the bear market low. So we see this here right now. So we should not be correcting way more than this. We should not be losing. Actually, that's not the bear market low. That's from the previous move, I believe. Yes, that's not the bear market low. But it didn't put in a lower low. And we should be bouncing just from a technical standpoint. Obviously, if on Friday Jerome Powell says, hey, look, guys, we're hiking for another year, 12 more rate hikes, which we won't do, but just saying, then obviously everything changes and we get wrecked. I thought this was funny. Someone writing, when you add the spot Bitcoin ETF approval to the 2024 halving. So yeah, if that is or if that is approved right around this time, then yes, you will have such a massive run up that it will look like this. Okay, let's look at winners and losers. Top 100, Sui coin pumping, 12%. I hope you have that in your bags. I don't. You cannot have every coin in your bags. And then Toncoin and Optimism. Thorchain and Casper are correcting quite a bit. And Maker also is suffering a little bit of a hit. Let's look at it from another perspective. So now, if you can see the movement here, we are completely red on all the altcoins except Optimism, and I don't know why FTT token is even, but anyways. So this is the top 100. As long as FTT token is still in the top 100, we still have some ways to go with the altcoins, right? We should have also in here in the top 200, we have Omi here in the green, together with Akash Network and some others that are some of these are just emerging in the top 200, haven't been even there. But overall, the market is deep in the red. Also, today we are mixed, right? Some are still correcting, some are recovering, and on the month we are also deep in the red. So we see that in month, on the year, we see that in the top 100 we have some things coming up. We have Injective Protocol, we have Casper 1,500%. OKB, CFX, XDC, a little bit of optimism there. Render, Bitcoin Cash still up on the year, and so on. But we will see. We will see how this plays out. Let's look at what we have just discussed, just from a chart perspective, and I will go over these a little bit quicker than usually. And why am I always falling into the 4-hourly? So Nasdaq has a recovery phase, and we will see how Nasdaq will react to the Nvidia news today, and in 2 days to the Fed Chair Powell news. But overall, we have the trend line broken. That's still the case. We could be coming up for retesting this, but yeah, this is basically where Michael Burry went short with 1.6 billion. I told you about this. Nothing more to say here than just recognizing that there is a smaller rally coming in. Then Bitcoin. Let me just quickly refresh, because we have said that we want to have Bitcoin also into the 4-hourly. What's happening? That we wanted to see Bitcoin to hold this support box at least. To put in a higher low here, and so far this is working out quite good. Yesterday I discussed a little bit that we have seen an extremely oversold Bitcoin here. Actually, the most oversold since 5 years, I read today. According to what I saw here, it's since 2020 on the daily. I don't know how it looks on the weekly. Yeah, on the weekly we are not oversold, so there's still room to go. But on the daily, so we are holding actually support here if you consider the candle bodies. So we're holding support here. Will we lose it? We don't know, but the fact that we are so oversold implies also that we could be coming back there a little bit. By the way, why am I out of the picture here still? Let's move this back in. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that is for Bitcoin. Now we have removed the upside target for now. I think no, the price target we still have, because I think ultimately we'll end up there at this price target. It just takes a little bit longer, and we still, I mean, if you draw this in right now, you'll still have an uptrend of sorts. However, and this is something that we should point out, if you put this, I don't know why this was, yeah, if we draw this in like this, 1 second, I think that's a logarithmic, that's a non, okay, so it doesn't matter too much, but you see here, if you go into the log, why isn't it changing anymore? Yeah, there we go. In the logarithmic, you will see that this this trend line fits perfectly. And what we need to be careful is this, right? Because there is a head and shoulders here with a neckline, if you see this. And yeah, technically the price target of this would be probably, if we measure this, would be probably lower than this. So we need to be careful if this really happens, or if this can be turned around by news. But this is certainly no joke with the inverse, with the head and shoulders pattern that could, and the break of this trend line, that could be pretty bad, right? Turtle says, GM to the best crypto content creator. Oh, thank you very much. How far are you from Meta Brew Society? Okay, I don't know. What are your thoughts on the NFT project with free beer IRL utility? Actually, I don't know. I have to look at it, but according to the zip code, I'm not too far away from that, because I'm in the 8.5. So yeah, I should definitely look into it. Free beer sounds good. Anyways, probably a little advertisement here, and probably calling more content creators the best crypto content, but we will see. Guys, by the way, 11 people here, smash up the like button. I would really appreciate it. We want to call more people here into the stream to discuss with us, so please do me the favor, if you haven't yet, quickly smash up the like button. Also Turtle, for the shout out for your project there, you can, or what does shout out mean, but for naming this, at least smash the like button for me. That would be great. Then more people will read your message in the chat as well. There we go. Yeah, DXY, still, let me refresh. Yeah, still did not break. Nothing has changed from yesterday. There is a breakout attempt, right? Actually, if you have this, I don't know if this even moves. No, it doesn't. So if you really align this with the wicks and the candle bodies, there you go. Here and here and here. You see that we are not, or we haven't yet taken out this, but we have taken out this little high. This little high here before we collapsed, we took this out. So we need to be, this is anticipation for what Fed Chair Powell is going to say. We really do not want to see these highs taken out by this, right? that is still a downtrend, but we want this to stay a downtrend. And we want to stay this obviously a downtrend as we have it right now. If this collapses because Fed Chair Powell says something dovish or I don't know what, or says, hey, look, we're done with the rate hikes, or probably done with the rate hikes, or that's the last rate hike, and we come down, then crypto will have its rally. I am impressed that Bitcoin held so well compared with this whole rally going on since basically a month. Is that a month? Yeah, like July. Yeah, exactly. So since more than a month. So the DXY rallying since more than a month. Why is this? I always forget that this is behind the chat. So here we go. This happening since more than a month. BTC held well. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance, because Bitcoin dominance has been, basically breaking trend line. It's coming up right now a little bit again. That's where altcoins are still bleeding into Bitcoin. We have lost this trend line for Bitcoin dominance, but we didn't collapse yet. So there is a chance that we just continue this uptrend, just not as steep, or that we recover above this trend line once again. We don't know yet. But for sure we lost it, and we also lost it at the weekly. And whenever Bitcoin has a steep decline like this here, for example, then we are rallying. This was a big Bitcoin rally, right? Or these declines, especially this one, was a big Bitcoin relief rally, I'd say. Or was that was not even a relief rally? I think that was our top. That's 10th of May, 21. So May 21. Yeah, that was a relief rally. Yeah, right. Yeah, that was a relief rally. So but this one here, for example, let me see. 6th of July, where is it? March, June. Also not a rally, just trying to break above. Okay. But what is definitely happening is when it rises, that's our bear market. And this year, for example, that was our bull market. So these big moves out of DXY, these are our bear and bull markets. So there's no denying that. This is our bottom. So this sharp decline here is our bottom, but the smaller declines, they did not have as much effect. So the big decline here, that's our Bitcoin bottom, plus rally in the end, right? Moving on. The total market. So this one is also interesting in my opinion. This is now I'm in the daily, that's okay, but we want the weekly. So this is the total market cap of all altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And you see here our previous end of the bull market, our bear market, and now we basically are in some kind of a falling channel. You could still, if we come up here and rally, we would, this is a possibility, maybe, probably, we don't know, but I just want to highlight that we are moving at the moment in this channel here. It looks like a channel, although there's only really one touch point, so you could also argue that this is not a channel, but for the altcoin space right now, but something is going. So you have an uptrend here and you have a downtrend here, there's something like a symmetrical going on. That we will see how this develops, because honestly, if Bitcoin rallies once again, then this could just drop out and come lower if the altcoins are bleeding into Bitcoin. So we will see how the altcoin space looks like. So let's talk about Ekomi, because Ekomi is very interesting in my opinion. We see this right here. I just quickly refresh. We have talked about it in one stream and a video now, that we are seeing action here for Bitcoin, for Ekomi. Let's look at this in a 4 hourly, because that was basically the reason why I bought. So I told you guys before that I wanted to see this resistance broken. It tried and did, then it came up. I said I want to see a test and hold. That happened, and then in this it formed. Basically for me that was confirmation, and then it formed this pattern, the symmetrical here, where I said, hey look, if this drops to the downside we'll probably come back down into our range, but if it goes to the upside it doesn't. So I said, because seeing this I'll buy my Ekomi, and that's what I did. And then we had the breakout and technically the retest, and now we are coming up. So technically we should be, if we are considering this a little bit less, right, we should let's just take a conservative approach and just say, hey look, this is where we have the touch points, right? We break out, we should be coming up to test this here once again. You could also be a little bit less conservative and pick a bigger move, and then we are coming above 001 for Ekomi. Will it happen? We don't know. Look at this. There is severe whale action going on, which I covered in my latest video. Ebert Gonzalez says, I think BTC and ETH are bleeding into altcoins combined with good OMI news. That could be happening, but is not the case right now, as we're seeing in the altcoin performance overall. The altcoins are still big time red, and the question is, what if Bitcoin and Ethereum will not have a rally first before that will happen? That doesn't mean that Ekomi is coming back down to their level, to the levels, right? If OMI utility is being deployed and so on, people will just buy more and more of Ekomi, because then I promise you the narrative will be that triple zeros is so cheap, and that everything under triple zeros is steal, and then we'll probably come back up. I don't know how long this will take. We see that the volume was high here, but at the moment it's not that high. So we really do not see a breakout volume. As I said before, I really want to see that. We did see it here, which is very good. And then we also had the major move. Yeah, now we are just, probably whales are also a little bit cautious, but we see right now, actually we are moving. So we saw a little bit of a move here. Actually we are moving. We will see if we can. So for example, a lot of sell orders have been taken out here, here and here with these purchases. So we should be at least having a move up to this level. And the big question is, will we, yeah, we have seen that here. We got dumped on, we tried to recover back, and it got dumped back down. So the question is, how much selling pressure is left over in this range before we approach this range here, right? So ultimately what we want to see is that we come up here and start testing this range. That's what we want to see, but this can take a while. And if I need to be completely honest, and that's also why I didn't put everything in this. Usually you would say, hey, you see a breakout, you should put everything in right now and get as many millions of OMI as possible. I could get more millions of OMI, but I don't, because obviously there's this possibility looming of bad news. Bitcoin breaks lower, the altcoin market gets ripped down, and Ekomi with it, right? And then I want to have some dry powder to be able to get more once I see which pattern is unfolding there. But for now, I'm good with this. I entered somewhere around here. So a little bit in the plus with this already, but only with this one purchase, right? Um, yeah, that's it. That's it for Ecomi. Let's talk a little bit about NFT news. So in the NFT space, there is one news that I thought was interesting, and that's Yuga Labs to block NFT trades on OpenSea over creator royalties. And we have seen that this discussion with the royalties was actually something that David, you said that they did not allow NFT interoperability because they could not enforce royalties on, for example, OpenSea. And we see that this is now a talking point or a point between OpenSea and Yuga Labs. Yuga Labs being the most prominent NFT project out there. So Yuga Labs is the latest brand to speak out against OpenSea's extremely controversial decision last week to once again do away with enforcing mandatory creator royalty fees by blocking all support for any new or upgradable NFT collections on OpenSea's seaport by February 2024. And that's obviously something that you don't want to see as a market or from a marketplace, because if you are a VeVe and you have big brands and you need to enforce the royalties because of your contract, you just can't go, basically you can't support a platform like this, right? Overall, it all comes down to standards. So we are in a environment where there are no standards attached. For example, if you take crypto exchanges, most crypto exchanges, for example, here in Europe, they already they advise you, hey, look, if you trade here, you have to do this and that to implement it into your tax report and so on. So they have fees. Everyone can send Bitcoin to certain wallets. Every marketplace gets their fees on this. So there are certain standards how these marketplaces interact with each other. The big question is, with NFTs having creator royalty fees, when will the NFT world for marketplaces to survive agree on a standard to enforce royalties, right? And IMX is actually doing that. So in the IMX ecosystem, you are having where VeVe is also in, you have enforceable royalties. We know that, right? So that means that within this IMX ecosystem, theoretically, VeVe can make the collectibles interoperable, meaning that they would be then locked into this IMX ecosystem. But in that ecosystem, however traded, the royalties will all come to the brands that have the contracts with VeVe. So VeVe can maintain the contracts while being on IMX, right? So anyways, Yuga Labs, the parent company of Bored Ape, Yacht Club and CryptoPunks, announced via X. I don't know if you guys will ever be able, I don't know if I will ever be able to get away from calling it Twitter, but that was committed to helping foster an ecosystem where creators are rewarded for their work, which is good. On OpenSea's decision to sunset their operator filter, right? So here's the statement from Yuga Labs. In light of OpenSea's announcement yesterday that they will be sunsetting the OpenSea operator filter, they introduced and moving to optional creator fees on all secondary sales for all collections by February 2024. Yuga Labs will begin the process of sunsetting support for OpenSea Seaport for all upgradable contracts and any new collections, with the aim of this being complete in February 2024 in tandem with OpenSea's approach. For as much as NFTs have been about users truly owning their digital assets, they've also been about empowering creators. Yuga believes in protecting creator royalties, so creators are properly compensated for their work, says Daniel Allegri, the CEO. Good. Yeah, then there's also a little bit of a side comment. The biggest selling point of digital art, especially digital collectibles, NFTs, was that these artists were put front and center on these canvases and rewarded each time their artwork was resold on a secondary market. For companies like Yuga, who first made a name for itself after debuting its industry-leading Bored Ape collection, the royalty fees added up to around $35 million for those collectibles alone, all through OpenSea as of November 2022. So this is very important also for VeVe, right? Because the secondary market fees that are going to licensors, they are the reason for licensors to put more and more drops out with high quality that are then being bought and sold and resold and resold and resold on the secondary market, making it a perpetuous money machine for those licensors. That's why they are all coming to VeVe, because VeVe can prove that they do this. So that is very important. And we have seen that Recur, for example, will not make this money for Hello Kitty, Nickelodeon, and so on, because they just went out of business, right? So very important that this move here. Then let's talk a little bit about VeVe. Use Hairline here post this, and I think it's a good thought. I want to right now that comics are coming more into the spotlight, just discuss this a little bit. So VeVe Comics, no sets, right? The VeVe Comics are not a set. Even if you have one of each rarity, it's not a set. If you so the suggestion here is make it an exclusive 2 set, the rare, exclusive rare and ultra rare, to have MCP points behind that. I think that that's not the thing that we want. I think we want, or at least I want, that comics are a set when you have one of each rarity. That means also that the secret rare determines how many sets there will be, as always. This is always the case. And there will be very little sets per comic total. The downside of this is that once basically the secret rares are out of reach, people would stop buying the rest of the comics. So probably this is why they don't do it, because basically it would defocus from the real comic collecting, where you say, hey, look, common covers are worth a lot. And so I think putting a set on this would put even more emphasis on the already very scarce secret rares, and less emphasis on the original common cover that has way more editions and should be also worth something. And we see that the commons many times are worth more than the uncommon, for example, even though the uncommon is more scarce just because of the original cover. So it is a little bit of a discussion. And here in this case, if they would do this, then they would put the emphasis on the ultra rare, and the already not colorful rare would be devalued in this setup. So it would be not anymore about the collecting of the optics and everything, but it would be really about the set. So I don't know if they will ever do it sets for comics. Then let's talk about the newest drop announcement, because there's more coming out for Star Wars, and we are seeing a focus on vehicles now, which is interesting because the Veveverse just came out. People are speculating about drivable assets. We have seen interactive NFTs like the X-Wing, where you can load the R2 in, which is interesting. So now we see this this Aerotech 74Z, otherwise known as the speeder bike, first seen in the Return of the Jedi. This digital collectible drops in the waitlist format on Friday. I think it's very interesting. It looks very cool. Also, small details here with the lights on the side and this little leather pouch in the end, just like in the movies. Here on the bottom, you cannot see that, but Dr. Prophet has put a mini scene there from Star Wars, where you can see the speeder bike. So yeah, that's what is coming out. The big question is, will these be drivable? Will this be usable in the Veveverse? That is interesting, and that will determine the future value. Actually, someone posted also this here. And I don't know if you have played this game, but I did. My sister and I, we played this game a lot. And this would be also very interesting if they would bring out the pod racers, right? Because they would just have to implement a game like this where you can only use a pod racer that you own to play in that game. It would be so cool. Let's just imagine this, right? So first of all, this game was a ton of fun, really, and it was very simple. I mean, you see the graphics; it's super old. This is from, I think, 2000 or something like that, somewhere when Star Wars Episode 1 came out. And let's just imagine we have the option to race something like that in the Veveverse, and you would see the same names above the heads when you're joining in a race. Then they have in the VeVe app, and everyone knows each other. Like let's say you're racing with Mr. MC1, Randy, with me and someone else. Like, you join a server and you just have these you just have the people that you already know from the app racing with these things, right? In a simplified game, it doesn't have to be. I think in the first step, it doesn't have to be a AAA game. A very simplified racing game where you could do that, and which looks good in the sense of the collectibles are in the main focus, and there's just a racetrack. Even if it would be only like a circular track or so, would be extremely, yeah, it would do something to those collectibles that you can use. So I would really love to see this, and I think with a creator space where you can program stuff in the Veveverse, this would be absolutely possible to get something like this, just fan-made even, right? It just needs the support from the VeVe team to implement the collectibles into games. But I think ultimately it will not stay as a showroom, like an extended showroom forever. Ultimately, I think it will start out with mini games. You could also imagine like a mini game with these Disney villain figures or something like that with static figures. It can start out with a chessboard where you can select for every figure something else. So you could just play chess with your golden moments or something like that, right? So very small, simplified games where you can use your collectibles would be possible, right? I think that's interesting. What else do we have from VeVe? Let's see. There's okay, so there is a trailer. I know we'll be sitting back wielding the power of Ahsoka's lightsabers in AR. So there's a new TV series coming out that's good. Then we'll have the Tarzan drop for everyone who is interested in that. That whole comic has only 3,500 total editions. I personally do not collect the Tarzan comics. I do not have a single one. But there is apparently a Tarzan comic fan base. Some people are buying that right on drop. Some people are buying on secondary market. So it's good, right? If there is a Tarzan comic fan base in digital collecting, then that's really, really good. So yeah, that's Tarzan. And then the Hulk, I have to say I didn't hit on the drop, so unfortunately nothing for me there. Let me know if you hit this one on the drop, Planet Hulk. I think it's right now 165 gems or so on the app, so pretty expensive. That is unfortunately the case. Okay, one quick look at the whale charts for today, from yesterday. Get myself out of the way here. Let's see if it loads. I hope it loads. Otherwise, we cannot look at it. But we have this whale, Bezosman, still leading the charge, and we see he does not stop buying. He did buy again. He still buys lower value collectibles. He is 50 collectibles away from 22,000, and this is crazy, right? Yesterday I looked at the app. I bought 2 Lomond comics yesterday as well, but I looked at the app and I still see common comics below 2 gems. So this guy is stacking easily with under 2 gems if he wants to. And he probably tomorrow, if we look at this wallet, he will probably be at 22,000 total collectibles. And he just keeps going. He didn't even mint anything. Probably he didn't get anything on the waitlist, or he just doesn't care and just buys on secondary. So Dr. Profit minted something. He apparently either that, or probably he got a Hulk or a Simba. No, he has. This needs to be Simba because from the Simba drop, from the Lions King drop, because this is 1 day in the past. So this only covers from the 6th. Oh, actually, this covers from the 22nd. Here we have it. So it doesn't cover today, but it could be either the Hulk or the Simba. And then he also purchased 2 other collectibles. So just deriving from these numbers is probably the Lion King. So he got one on drop, and then he purchased the others to complete the set, probably. That could be happening. Very interesting. And then we see that we see this here. So we see that the other whales are accumulating slowly but surely. 130, 75, 22, 67, 3, 129, 63, and so on. So you see all net accumulation is positive in the top 23, and then we have on place 24 still this wallet that we have observed since top 10 that has offloaded more than 6,000 collectibles already. So this guy heavily selling, but we see also he's minting, he's purchasing some, and he is heavily selling other stuff, probably, and maybe we have seen this when we looked at it, selling low value collectibles a ton. So I still have the theory that he's probably not going completely to zero. I still have the theory that he's buying high value collectibles, and that he's just shifting gems into something else. That is the theory of what he's probably doing for me right now. But other than that, we see the rest of the is net positive, except this one. But these here, they don't really count, because selling 12 and buying 8 for me is not warning signals or anything. It's just that for me, everything that is in a very low net count is rebalancing portfolio. But we see that many people are just slowly but surely accumulating in the top 100, and that's overall we see whales are buying, except this one whale that is offloading a ton of cheaper stuff. So I do the same, just not as a whale, but with my possibilities. I really would have loved to get the Simba one on drop, but I couldn't, and I'm just looking here right now. So yeah, I'm at 140 collectibles, 387 comics right now. So still ways to go, but yeah, very very soon 13 comics and I will have 400 comics, and then I will be very close to 550 collectibles, and I am very close to MCP level. I can show you this, I think, in the camera. I am very close to MCP level 41. Yeah, so that is going on. I'm currently I'm at Diamond 1. Maybe this changes, I don't know, but we will see with the coming accumulations that I still have to do. But that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in today for Crypto Morning Coffee. Guys, enjoy your coffee. Make sure to smash up the like button right now. 15 people in here to support this live stream. Even though that I will be going offline right now, it's still important to do that so that we can get more and more people in here in the coming live streams. Yeah, I hope you are still positive towards Ekomi and VeVe, that you're still bullish on Bitcoin. We'll see what happens with Nvidia earnings today. We'll see what happens on Friday when Jerome Powell gives his Jackson Hole speech, and we will see how the next days turn out for the broader crypto market, and then also if the decision to buy Ecomi right now was correct or not. We'll all discuss it completely honest on this channel, so make sure to be subscribed. Like, subscribe, little bell, and if you want to become a channel member, then please become a channel member. I would be really happy about that support. Obviously, no musts. These are the sponsors of the channel. But with that all said, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. And I see you in the next live stream tomorrow,